Sly Media, one of Mr. Sly Media right here. This right here is my review on the Knuckles TV series. I said it was coming. I was waiting around because, like I said, I was really excited about doing a review on this video, on this topic about the show. And also, like I said, I'm a big Sonic fan. I always got to show y'all this to show I'm a big Sonic fan. I am with Shadow right here. And then, of course, you probably can't see it, but I have this tattoo of Shadow right here on my wrist. So that's how much I'm a big fan of this world, this universe. So I was so excited when I found out they were going to do a spin-off show with Knuckles. And I know a lot of people had different reactions about it. I've seen on Twitter and all. Everybody has a different opinion on it. I'm gonna tell you what I think about it, about the stuff I did like about it, and the stuff I didn't like about it, and show why I say in the day I think the good outweighs the bad about the problems people had on this show. So the show starts off like in the very first episode is what we see in the trailers. It's with Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. Where Sonic starts off narrating. It actually is the only one actually directed by the same guy that directed the last three Sonic movies. It's the only guy. It's the only episode he directs actually. The one that's the first episode. The rest of the show episodes are directed by a different person. But the guy directed the first Sonic, first two Sonic movies, and he did they're directing the third one as well. This is the only episode he directed. The first one it has Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails and Maddie on this one episode and all. And it's pretty much Sonic narrating about Knuckles, talking about Knuckles, and Knuckles having a hard time adjusting to this world and all. Like Sonic and Tails have grown to love it and all. Knuckles having a hard time adjusting to it now that this show takes place between after events of Sonic 2 and leading up to Sonic 3. So Knuckles, after the battle with Eggman and everything, Knuckles has pretty much nothing to do. So he's trying to figure out what to do. So you see in the trailer they show he's kidnaps the mailman. They don't show another part of this episode as well. Then they show in the trailer he actually also as well decides to attack the people that are building and are fixing the house because of the events that happened that he actually caused and messed up when Knuckles and Eggman came to attack Sonic in the second movie. So he attacks the handyman that are trying to construction workers that are actually trying to fix stuff in the house. He thinks they're intruders and all. So Knuckles pretty much is having a hard time adjust to it. He even makes the house he even makes the house like with a lot of stuff and builds his own little chair and all, like he's king and all. And Matt decides to put him on punishment and all. And we see a lot of clips, I think, in the you've seen on the internet as well. Like we see the clip where Sonic is trying to tell Knuckles, hey, you just gotta adjust to it while Knuckles on punishment. And he's just pretty much trying to have a hard time trying to adjust, trying to learn and everything. So, Sonic said eventually you'll adjust to it, you'll get used to it. I spent in the cave for like 7 years. You can handle being in the basement and all that. It'll be alright. So after that transpired, Knuckles gets I'm not pronouncing the echidna's name, but he gets the spirit from another echidna that talks to him and tell him, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to help this warrior now. And he shows Wade. Everybody knows Wade from the first two Sonic movies. He wasn't that prominent a lot to me in the second Sonic movie like he was in the first one and all that. I do remember him being in just a little bit in the second one because I think he was more of a shadow by Knuckles in the second one. That's why I don't really remember him having just a prominent role because he was more overshadowed by Knuckles by Knuckles in the second one and all that. But I remember he had a real more bigger impact than me, I think, in the first one. But needless to say, get on with it about the episode. So the Kid the Warrior tells him like, hey, tells Knuckles, hey, you should help this guy out named Wade. He got this bowling tournament. You should help him out with it. And Knuckles said, oh, no, this is no warrior. He's not. No, I know who he is. He's like, neither will you. And then that's when Knuckles ends up finding him and he talks to him about, oh, hey, I can help you out be a warrior and all. So, and that pretty much kind of ends like the first episode for the most part with them riding, because it's almost like I said, a 2-hour movie with them riding together and them just like, going to the bowling tournament. All we do see in the previous, also with Wade too as well. We see him struggling or learn how to bowl. One of his homies end up dropping him and all that from the team. So he didn't like that. So he didn't like that. He was felt down about that. But Knuckles helped. Knuckles said he's gonna teach him to be a good bowler and all. So they end up going on a road trip together and all. So that's the end of the first episode. So Knuckles he's in this episode. I know people say a lot of Knuckles not. He's in the first episode, which is I think kind of my favorite because we get all the characters together as one and all. So I did kind of like the first episode. To me, was actually my favorite one. Was actually the very first one, which probably a lot of people's favorite was the first one. So now we get to episode 2. Episode 2 is we get into the Kid Cudi's character along with the other girl. They're pretty much, you call them Team Rocket. That's pretty much what they are. Everybody's saying to YouTube channels, everybody saying they're like Team Rocket. That's really what you can call them. Which I don't have a problem with that. In Pokemon, I love Team Rocket. So to me, I was like, yeah, they're like Team Rocket. They work for the their former gun agents, and they're trying to like pretty much attack, Knuckles, trying to get his power and everything for the buyer so he can get it and all that. So they're just trying to make money, trying to stop Knuckles and Wade and all. So in the bowling alley scene, like we see like shortly after that, like you see in the trailer and all that. But in the bowling alley scene, they end up, long story short, they end up capturing Knuckles. Wade ends up saving him in his own kind of goofy kind of way, ends up saving him and all. So that makes, you know what I'm saying? So that makes it kind of funny. It's kind of interesting, funny way how Wade ends up saving and Knuckles. And then the episode, like I said, another solid good episode with that, where we get, Wade and Knuckles, and Wade ends up kind of saving Knuckles somewhat and all and everything. So we get that. Now here comes like this part, episode 3. Episode 3 is when I think episode 3 and 4 is when people kind of like it. This one gets introduced to Wade's mom, sister, and all. So Wade's mom and sister. So like I said, this is where I think the episode surely shifts from if it's about Knuckles, then it's about Wade and all that. But Wade has a conversation. Wade is a character, has dad issues. His dad abandoned him. They always keep on using the reference. He abandoned him at TJ Maxx and all and everything. He's trying to go to the bowling tournament to see him and all. So this is the part where I kind of like and understand. Knuckles is a CGI character, so you can't have him in there through all the scenes. So that makes sense why he wouldn't be in there like that a lot. But to me, like, I kind of liked it. It's just the whole point of it was like the annoying his sister. I think that was the most annoying character. She's supposed to be like a female version of Wade, but she kind of was just more annoying. Like Wade is goofy, silly. He's a comic relief. Like I said, I like Wade's character and all that, but the sister was kind of more annoying and all. And I think when they had the table scene fighting and all that, and then Knuckles not saying that, like a lot of people, that's when people had a problem, they had issues with that and all. But you kind of learn of Wade's background, him, like I said, dad not being around, all that. Another funny scene too when Knuckles is going inside Wade's room and everything. That's so funny because like that's so funny to me, hilarious because you see the thing. I mean, this is kind of adult thing right here. You see like him with the Gladiator Warrior poster in his room and all that. They even show reference to Keanu Reeves, who's voicing the character Shadow. They even show Wade with a poster of him in there as well. But also was like also funny when it's like you see the Gladiator Warrior. He has a picture of the Gladiator Warrior, and Knuckles says, "What's all this white stuff on this Gladiator? What's this? What's all that and everything?" Everybody knows about what that reference is and all that because we're in his room and all that. You know what teenagers do and all. That was funny. Another funny little adult reference. A lot of people don't talk about that. I got that reference. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's pretty funny. So that was a trip on that one. But for the most part, like I said, then the part 2 where Wade gets captured by his former friend that cut him from the bowling team and all, and ends up catching him because Wade gets up in the putting a bounty on the buyer and Kid Cudi's character and the girl. They both on the side. They're gonna put a bounty on Wade and Knuckles' head and all that. And Wade gets captured by one of them and all that. And I think a lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. It was like a musical where you see Wade and Knuckles' costume and the same McKenna Warrior from Knuckles, like that shows him his spirit. He shows up while Wade is being knocked out and telling him like, oh, okay, this is Knuckles' story, and we get like a musical Knuckles background story about how his father died and everything, and showing Knuckles, and giving away the spirit to break out of the prison. I mean, not break out of the cage that his friend has him in, and all that ends up defeating him and taking him down and all. And that's how we get Knuckles donning the cap, the cap, and Wade having on the jacket, and also the motorcycle that everybody knows and Knuckles always wears in the Sonic TV show, all that, which I liked it because we got that. We got to see Knuckles in his form with the cap, with the cap, and with the motorcycle. Not with the jacket, but with the cap and the motorcycle, riding with Wade right by him and all that. So I liked it. I enjoyed that. So that's why I have a problem with that musical scene. Some people say that was the worst episode of all. I think that was episode 4. That's why everybody felt like it was more more Wade than Knuckles and all. That's why I think the title was, and then it should have been called the Knuckles and Wade Show instead of Knuckles TV series. That's what I think everybody probably with. The title was misleading. Very, very, not miss. Okay, you know what I mean. I said misleading, but the title was very, not very like what you thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just a Knuckles, strictly about Knuckles, but it was Knuckles away. But I knew by the trailer synopsis, I'm like, yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a Knuckles and Wade's kind of buddy cop thing, kind of like Ted 2. Kind of that's why I felt like it was like. It was kind of like how Ted 2 was. I feel like that's exactly what we got from this. It's kind of like a Ted 2. I mean, not Ted 2, but like a Ted TV series. You ever watch the Ted series? That was pretty funny. But that's what I felt like we got with Knuckles and Wade. Wade's more comical, Knuckles more serious. But going to the end of the episode. So we get to the finale where Wade and his dad have a bowling off. And his dad does him real dirty. Pretty much captures his family and saying, unless you give up Knuckles and give up this bowling of trying to beat me, then that's what you got to do. You got to give up Knuckles in order for me, in order for me to let you, pretty much saying like his dad pretty much gave him up saying, oh, you got to give up Knuckles and all that. Then, I'll let you beat me and all that, whatever and all. So, of course, the scene you kind of feel like, oh, dang, Wade really finna do it. He's finna let Knuckles have him. But I knew in the back of my mind, like, yeah, Wade's not going to give up Knuckles. He's going to trick him and all that. And that's what happened. Pretty much Knuckles easily defeats them, Kid Cudi and the girl's character. And the girl character ends up taking him down, pretty much beating him and all. So, like I said, some people say it was too easy of a beat, Wade Knuckles beat them and all. But I'm like, it's what you expect and all that. These ain't like the main villains. They're nothing but all mainly side characters. So Knuckles ends up defeating them and all and everything. And of course, now we go back to the bowling, which everybody doesn't like because they spent too much time on the bowling thing. But I like the announcers they had. Those guys were funny. They were funny as well, too. The two announcers that was announcing the bowling tournament, that was funny. Pretty much get straight to it. Wade beats his father and all. But then also we see the buyer finally comes. Everybody like that he just comes out of nowhere and all that and attacks Knuckles. They don't show how he got here, where he was at and all. But I'm suggesting he probably just maybe figured out, okay, nobody else is able to stop Knuckles. He's just like probably saying, fine, I'm gonna do it myself. But that's a little technical. That ain't all that serious to me. Like that we gotta find out where the buyer come from. So, boom, the buyer comes. He ends up taking down. He ends up trying to take down Knuckles. Then Wade gives a story, kind of like what Tom did with Sonic in the first movie. You remember when he gives a story, said Knuckles found his home and all that. Because pretty much his main. I think everybody not understand the premise of this series. This series is pretty much about Knuckles trying to find his home, find his way. Kind of like people that work a 9-to-5 job and once they retire, they don't nothing. They don't know what to do with themselves or anything when you retire from a job for a long period of time. So that's kind of pretty much what I get with like Knuckles and what this series is about. It's about Knuckles finding his home, finding somewhere to fit in. Sonic and Tails, they have Tom. They found their way, found a way to fit in. Knuckles hasn't found his way, his purpose of what, him on Earth, what it is. And Knuckles found it with Wade. He found, a home, introduced to Wade's family and all that, found somebody he can jam with, he can team up with and bond with. So, Knuckles ends up coming alive, ends up using the flames, which I love so much, and also ends up playing the Sonic, one of the theme songs from Sonic, which I love so much, the music in the background, ends up taking down the buyer, ends up defeating him. Ends with Knuckles, and Wade giving each other a high five, which is very funny and all that. Then the end credits scene, we see Knuckles and Wade on a motorcycle, and Wade playing the song for Knuckles. And remember in the beginning of the series, Knuckles was like, Wade was trying to tell Knuckles, what do you like, what are you into, and all that, and playing some music and saying, hey, listen to some music and all that. He ends up, of course, punching the radio and all that. And Knuckles saying he didn't get it about the music, but in the end, when they play the song and play a music together, Knuckles like, oh yeah, this is my jam and all that. This is what you mean by that. And all. So, ends it off perfect, ends it fun. Like I say, I like the show. I liked it the way it ended. Some people didn't like the ending. I think people were being a little spoiled. They thought maybe get a reference to Sonic 3, like an end credit scene and all that. No, because that's what Marvel problem was. That's what Marvel does a lot. They try to add on too much stuff in their TV series and try to make it sound like, well, you got to watch this episode in order to understand what's going on in this movie and all that and everything. The writer said it. You don't have to watch Knuckles in order to watch Sonic 3. You don't have to do your homework, pretty much say. You can just go on the theaters like with blank, with not having known anything about the Knuckles TV show or anything like that. This is just a filler, just something to keep fans entertained, interested, till the Sonic 3 movie that comes out in December, which is like 6 months away, pretty much. So that's pretty much what this series was about. I was enjoyed by, I was entertained by it. I like the way it ended, just like that. This is a series about Knuckles finding his way. Finding, his purpose, find somewhere he fits in that. So I liked it, and I definitely was enjoyed and entertained by it and all that. Now, the flaws I did have was the sister character. Wade's sister was kind of annoying. I didn't like that. The bowling thing, it was okay and all. That's why I think fans have a problem with that. People were having problems with all that, the bowling sequence, and the sister was kind of annoying with the family. That was a little bit too much and all that. And like I said, the title was very like conceiving, pretty much. You thought it was just gonna be about Knuckles and it was just about Wade. But like I said, I did my research, look at the trailer also, and look at the synopsis. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like a Knuckle Wade's buddy cop kind of thing, TV show and all that. And I was enjoyed by it. The villains could have been better as well, weren't that strong, but I wasn't expecting the villains to be, I wasn't thinking that much highly of the villains. So I think that could have been better. So all in all, I give this like a 7 out of 10. I first gonna say a 6.5, a little bit lower, but after seeing it again and watching some more, I actually thought about it. I give it a 7 out of 10. Pretty good, solid series for a Knuckles TV show. Now I'm hoping they don't do this for, if they are keep rumors about a Shadow spinoff. Don't do this with Shadow. You can't do this with Shadow. But I think the writer has said that Shadow, the Sonic 3, is gonna be way different than what this is. This is not gonna be how Sonic 3 is and all that. So fans don't have to worry about that. Director already said this is not going to be how Sonic 3 is going to be at all. No, two different things. It's not going to be the same tone. Sonic 3 will not be the same tone as what the Knuckles TV series was. So I liked it. I think it was something good for, them to do in the universe. Like they said, they want to do a Sonic cinematic universe. So I feel like this is a good start off, good way to do it. But I don't do this with everybody and all that. Don't, like I said, don't have Shadow in some kind of, comic and everything like that, because that's not Shadow's tone. Definitely don't do that. Have something different with Shadow. Have, have something different. Do an Amy spinoff. Have something different. Don't have the same premise. Maybe a lighter tone like Amy is, but not too silly like this. If you're going to do an Amy spinoff. You got the Chaotix. Have something different with them. If you want to do the Chaotix, that's going to be a long way with. Or if a Silver television show. Everybody knows about Silver. Have him do something different. So maybe have different tone for the shows as well. Don't stick with the same premise. But I did like one thing about it. They didn't try to make this about, this is like Easter egg for Sonic 3 and all that. They didn't make it like that. So that's why I'm glad they did it differently. So I know people were expecting something like this. Oh, we might get Roll the Bat, or we might get Team Chaotic, all that. I figure not. The Chaotix, we might not get them till like Sonic 4 or something like that. Or of a spin-off series, or a spin-off series. We're not getting them. So I know we weren't getting that. Roll, rumor is she might show up in Sonic 3. She might not. I think we might not see her till like Sonic 4 or something like that, or a spin-off. So I know we weren't getting all those characters and all. I know what this was going to be about, so that's why I liked it, because it was exactly what I expected it to be. So my expectations weren't really high on it. And so I liked it for what it was. I'm like, I was very entertained by it. I watched all the 6 episodes in one day. So I definitely liked it, definitely enjoyed it, watching the Knuckles TV series. So like I said, to me, watch it if you have not seen, watch it if you liked the Wade character in the Sonic's TV show. The Sonic movies. Watch it if you like his character in the Sonic movies and all that. If you don't like the Wade character, probably shouldn't be something for you and all that. Because you're just looking for straight Knuckles, you're not going to get that. But if you're a fan of the Sonic franchise, the movie franchise in general, I suggest you watch it and look at it. And all, just in general. But like I said, and also if you're just not a fan of the Sonic movie franchise at all, don't watch it. And like I said, if you're not a fan of the Wade character, don't watch it all either. But like I said, so that's why I say it's pretty much something for fans that like the movies and like Wade's character. It's something for y'all to look at. And I think a lot of people didn't like it. Were expecting more. That's exactly why I didn't like it. They were expecting too much of it. So that's why I felt I didn't enjoy it. So I said, to me, the series 7 out of 10. That's some passing grade. It's pretty good to me. Like I said, definitely pretty good to me. Now, it ain't the greatest television show, but it was something to watch. So I was definitely, like I said, enjoyed by it. I took it for what it was worth, and I liked it. So, like I always say, if you like the content, please don't please don't hesitate to hit the like and subscribe button. This is Sly Media. Like I said, stay tuned. I will be doing a review when the movie comes out. The new Planet Apes movie that comes out at the end of May. I will be doing a review on that, so y'all stay tuned for that. That's coming and all. So, like I said, this is my review on Knuckles. I had to do a review on a Knuckles TV series, so I know I'm kind of a little long with this one and all, but that's why I say I love the series so much, so I had to kind of talk about it and explain everything, why I liked it, why I enjoyed it so much and all. So y'all stay tuned for that. So I got videos coming, like I said. Appreciate all the views, the likes, everything for Sly News / Sly Media. Like I said, I'm coming with this one every week. I'm going to try to do a video on something, so y'all stay tuned for everything I got coming out. But like I said, this is my review on the Knuckles. Like I said, if you didn't like it, hey, I understand. If you did, I understand too why you did like it. So, like I said, I enjoy myself. It's pretty good. So, y'all have a good day. Be safe here. Sly Media. I'm out.